Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Mythic Legions Skeleton Legions Builder 2.0 figure from the Four Horsemen. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this is one good-looking skeleton, and I mean, it's Four Horsemen. The sculpt's gonna be great, and it is. Paint is fantastic. I mean, as you can see, it is a chunky boy, but that's what we expect from Mythic Legions. It just kind of matches the look of the line, stuff like that. Not only that, it just kind of makes their articulation work, and I think that's great. It's more of what you would. This is pretty much exactly what you would expect out of a Mythic Legions full-on skeleton. I think they did a great job here. You can see that nice wash coming through, all the fine details and kind of aging, all the pores in the bones. So really, really good stuff. The rib cage itself is not completely hollow. You can see this nice solid piece in the middle, which just kind of gives it a nice level of heft. It feels like the rib cage doesn't push in at all, pardon me. So it's very sturdy. Great looking spinal column. Obviously these little ports here on the back are going to be for some other figures coming up in, I can't remember the name of the wave, but it's all the skeletons. So those will be used heavily, but it would be kind of cool if there was some sort of way to kind of like plug those up and make them fit kind of like some of the other skeletons. I point here because they're all off to the side. But this is a late entry into kind of the 1/12, 1/10 skeleton war, the one which I did a video for at the beginning of this year. And I just think this is really cool. I think personally, I think that visually this lies somewhere between the redemption skeletons for the articulation and just the chunk, and the realism that we get with the boss fight skeleton. And we'll see them all lined up in the size comparisons. But I think this is a really good medium. This is something that I'd love to see Four Horsemen just kind of offer more often, because skeletons are essential, and there's no company that really kind of keeps them, I guess, aside from boss fight, that really keeps them in stock right now. So yeah, just overall, really, really solid skeleton. A real nice group of accessories, so let's dig into it. And starting with hands, right out of the box, we do get a pair of grips with horizontal hinges. And I say that because we do get a pair of grips with vertical hinges. Love that they do that. Again, this is one of my favorite things accessory-wise that companies do. So there's that. Then we get a pair of fists / these could also be grips for something that's thin enough to fit in there, but they are closed off, so that's not going to move. And then finally, we get a pair of pointing hands. Beautiful. So that will do it for hands. Then we do get one piece of clothing, I guess, and it is this belt bandolier sort of deal. You can see there's a space there, and that is for one of the other accessories. And obviously this is generally meant to kind of go across the body of the figure. I don't know why I had it way up here. And then, so it goes across the body of the figure. You could use it as like kind of really loose belt. It's up to you. I mean, it's your figure. Do whatever you want. But really nice details. Great leather texture going on there with that dark wash, bringing out all the like dings and just textures. Then we get all that nice silver punched in, just nice realistic look. Nothing feels kind of held back. No expense spared, I guess some could say. So yeah, very nice there. Then we get weapons. So first off, defense, we do get this nice shield with a sort of patina going on here with see that green, this kind of really light bronzish gold, like a kind of more of a brushed gold sort of look on the inner ring. So really, really nice there. And then we get a handle, which is removable. And there's not obviously somewhere to put it on the back here, I guess. So I don't know. I'm assuming this has been used before in, Mythic Legion. So some of you may be more familiar with this than I am at this current point in time. Then we do get the sword. Again, if you want to fully Harryhausen it up, very nice, kind of nice, mid silver. And then we get that gold. Again, this patina, this nice aging. You got a little bit of rust on the blade, as it should be. And it's a skeleton. It's not going to have a pristine weapon. So beautiful attention to detail. Then finally, we do get this spear, also with a little bit of rust there on the blade, and then just a plain black handle. So really cool stuff, and that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are nice. As you can see, freestanding kicks, this took a lot of time to get into actually, and that is mostly because of something I didn't point out in the aesthetics, and that is that the feet are fully sculpted. So that actually does make it difficult to kind of find the balance point, especially for me, because this is, foam. So, not the best and most even surface, but you can definitely get there. Other than that, it's pretty much what we would expect from Four Horsemen Mythic Legions. We get a ball joint here at the head, and we can look all the way up for some nice down, tons of tilt and rotation. Again, they do a great job with what is usually a hindrance for a lot of other lines. They know what they're doing. It's beautiful. We are hinge and swivel at the shoulders. Coming up to a T, just be careful with it. Definitely like heat the figures up and be careful, apply pressure where it needs to be, but you can get that perfect T. We are single jointed at the elbows, bring us to 90. We have hinge and swivel at the wrists. Again, all horizontal with the exception of those alternate gripping hands. Then we get a ball joint up here in the rib cage. You can kind of see it there. So just like the head, though not quite as much range. That's our crunch. Pardon me. That's our arch back, which is almost non-existent. But we do get some nice side to side and rotation. Then we get into the hips, and this is where it gets crazy. Get a Y pose with the legs. How often do you see that? Crazy. So that's awesome. Then we get front kick and just like straight up. We get straight up vertical there. Nothing in the thigh, but we do get single jointed knees, which bring us just past 90. And we get some rotation there as well because that is a pin coming down. Then we get swivel at the ankles. We get some really nice point, some really nice forward, and some excellent rocker. So that'll do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other 1/12, 1/10 scale skeletons from Yodo Toy, Foosh Toys, Big Boss Fight Studios, and Kulu World. With some other Mythic Legions. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally, with Articulate Icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Mythic Legions Skeleton Legions Builder 2.0 figure from the Four Horsemen is that this is just a really, really solid skeleton overall. I also did forget to mention in the articulation that the jaw is articulated, which you probably noticed anyway. So there is that. But beyond that, just great sculpt and paint, super solid articulation in terms of you're not going to get the most range. Again, this is probably closest to the Yodo Toy Redemption skeletons in terms of range. But pardon me, beyond that, really, really good stuff. And again, if you're collecting Legions, you kind of can't not have these. So I do regret kind of only picking one up, especially as they're not available at the moment. But I do feel like this is probably something they're going to bring up again and again, just because it's a great army builder. It's a great looking skeleton. It's just as it should be. So I wish you the best of luck in picking one of these up in the wild. Maybe they'll have them at shows or something like that. I'm actually not sure. But getting on the secondary market, wherever you are able to pick this up, if you don't have it yet, if you do have it and you're just kind of curious as to how it worked and you haven't opened it yet, then I hope I sated some of that curiosity. But beyond that, I just hope you found this review overall informative and somewhat entertaining. So if you did, hope to see you back here because we do multiple reviews like this every week. And really at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. Hope that all of your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.